the monster who doesn't need anyone. In the flicker of digital decay, a cracked Greco-Roman statue pulses with ghostly energy. Its stone face shatters, revealing a black void behind hollow eyes. A whisper pierces the silence. The one who needs no one is the one they fear the most. Footsteps echo, solitary and deliberate, in a corridor that stretches forever. No walls, no doors, only silence. Glitching text floats, need no one equals threat. The atmosphere is thick, suffocating with sacred dread. A face appears, veiled in shadow, staring into the soul of the viewer. A low voice murmurs, "He vanished from the crowd and became myth." This is not the tale of a loner, it's the ritual birth of a quiet force, one forged in absence, sharpened by silence. A man who severed his ties to the algorithm's applause and rose into something ungovernable, sacred, terrifying, a ghost in the system. Not because he was broken, but because he refused to be programmed. Headlines and energy, news tickers scream across the screen. Isolation epidemic. Dangerous lone wolf behavior. Why society fears the quiet ones. Fear becomes currency. Panic becomes a product. Influencers sell conformity in bite-sized dopamine, repackaged as inspiration. But somewhere in the shadows, a man walks the other way. A distorted figure, blurry, always in the background, no likes, no tags, no trail. He's not chasing relevance, he's dodging possession. Jung's voice cuts through the static. Solitude is not the absence of love, but its complement. We dissolve into a pine forest, birds silent, wind whispering. Jung's portrait fades into bark and roots, becoming part of the earth. Asocial is not equal to antisocial. It's not hatred, it's vision, not avoidance, but refinement. This man isn't retreating, he's unhooking himself from the IV drip of social approval. Every step away is a prayer, every silence, a revolt. He is not escaping the world, he is detoxing from it. What if solitude is a ritual of power? Shadow work. A single candle burns in the corridor of the mind. The walls are covered in old memories and bleeding archetypes. It reveals a mirror, but you don't see yourself. You see what you buried, eyes black, still, watching. You must face the monster, a whisper warns, before the world does. Ink blots morph into a figure meditating in absolute darkness. Around him swirl unspeakable dreams, father wounds, guilt-drenched cravings, the subconscious set loose. The father, the tyrant, the victim, the beast. These are not demons, they are blueprints. They do not hurt you, your denial of them does. This is not wellness, this is war. Not trendy healing, not candles and tea. This is inner crucifixion, the peeling off of every identity you've ever borrowed. He faces them, one by one. The coward within, the liar, the addict, the manipulator. And instead of running, he kneels before them and says, "I see you, you are mine." Jungian shadow work isn't about peace, it's about recognition. He peels away every societal lie and meets his own madness beneath the flesh. He doesn't chase love, he becomes the source. He doesn't search for truth, he births it from within, bloodied, screaming, real. And when he returns, he is not healed, he is whole. The herd and the Übermensch. The screen glitches, showing a digital city. Neon signs blink, like. Follow. Obey. An ocean of scrolling faces drowns in feedback loops. But above them, one figure stands still, unblinking, untouched. Nietzsche's voice scorches the sky. You must become who you are. The herd worships comfort, the warm blanket of collective delusion. But the Übermensch? He walks barefoot into chaos and builds his spine in fire. This isn't a man, it's a refusal. He walks away from shallow applause. He deletes his metrics, unplugs from dopamine, abandons every god sold to him through a glowing screen. He is the anti-influencer. The algorithm cannot model him. The platforms cannot market him. He is invisible, and because of that, untouchable. The system cannot code him. He breaks the syntax. And so he becomes dangerous. Because when you cannot be measured, you cannot be controlled. He does not scream rebellion, he radiates it. This is not narcissism, this is transcendence. The inner citadel. A marble bust of Marcus Aurelius fractures, but not from pressure, from awakening. From within the cracks, a divine light pulses, not divine in a heavenly sense, but eternal in discipline. Autarkia, self-sufficiency. The screen shifts to ancient Stoic codes, logos, reason, silence, will. The man sits alone, in a cube of glowing silence, not escaping the world, mastering it from within. The inner citadel is built in moments the world ignores, cold showers in silence, saying nothing when mocked, showing up when no one watches. He fasts, waits, watches, builds his resilience brick by brick with delay, rejection, and discomfort. He is steel forged in boredom, gold refined in solitude, a cathedral of will. Every slight becomes a brick, every insult mortar, every temptation a test. He does not react. He responds. He does not complain. He observes. He does not chase. He attracts, with gravitational silence. He speaks rarely, but when he does, the world stops. Because his words carry the weight of eternity. This isn't isolation. This is the forging of a sovereign being. Collapse of the algorithm. The screen convulses, engagement graphs implode, notifications dissolve into ash. Icons blur, platforms melt, the digital gods go silent, and society panics. Their rituals of validation crumble. But the asocial man, he walks through the wreckage, calm, unchanged, smiling, not out of mockery, but knowing. Because he never built himself on sand. He built in exile, outside the echo chamber, beyond the metrics. He never begged to be seen, so when the spotlight burns out, he glows from within. The collapse isn't an end, it's his beginning. And while others chase fragments of meaning, he sits in stillness, whole. He is no longer a user, he is an oracle. And society confused his stillness for weakness, but now he becomes a lighthouse in the storm. Call to action ritual, the mirror test. A final mirror rises. It no longer reflects. It reveals. You stare, not at your face, but your essence. Your eyes glow with unfiltered will. No filters, no masks, just self. You are watching yourself. But this reflection doesn't flatter. It doesn't lie. It doesn't crave your approval. It studies you. It remembers every excuse, every compromise, every moment you traded your fire for comfort. And it asks one question. Who are you when no one's watching? Now begins the montage. Phones drop into rivers. Screens go black. Followers vanish. A lone figure walks into a mist-covered forest. The path is silent. No comments, no claps, just leaves beneath his feet and stars above his head. He walks not to escape, but to return, to the ancient altar of the self, to rebuild not a brand but a being. Beneath the stars he sits, silent. No signal, no validation, no timeline, just breathe, stillness, presence. He is unplugged, not from the world, but from the illusion. A whisper echoes through the forest like a forgotten incantation. Audit your self-worth sources. Uninstall the gods you didn't choose. Silence is the only voice that tells the truth. Here's the final rite. The sacred test. Can you sit alone, with no noise, no mirror, no feedback, and not flinch? Can you stare into your own abyss and not beg for distraction? Can you confront your raw, unscripted beings and not run? This is the mirror test, the ritual of the ungovernable, the silence of those who see too much, the awakening of the monster they couldn't domesticate, and only monsters pass it. Becoming the myth. The man who walks alone does not do so for rebellion. He does it because truth demands solitude. His path is not lonely but consecrated. Each step away from the crowd is a step into something ancient, something primal. He walks into forgotten temples, not of stone, but of memory. Ancestral echoes swirl around him, shamans, prophets, hermits, all who chose exile over illusion. He is not the first, but he may be the last, because the world fears what it cannot name, and this man's he has no name, only essence. He writes no tweets, he speaks no trends, but in his silence others feel something stir within themselves, a remembering, not of who they were told to be, but of who they were before the world sold them a mask. And that is what makes him dangerous. His stillness is louder than any scream, his presence heavier than any title. This man does not seek followers, yet he becomes a compass. He does not try to lead, yet his existence becomes a blueprint, because deep down we all crave freedom, but we have forgotten what it looks like, until we see him, the man who needs no one. The return of the sacred. The forest fades, the corridor dissolves, you are back where you began, but something is different. You are not empty, you are not broken, you are waiting. The silence lingers, and in that silence you hear a final whisper. Turn the noise off, return to the altar, build in stillness. The monster they feared was never a monster. He was a mirror, a prophecy, and now it's your turn, not to scream, but to vanish, to sharpen your will in the fire of solitude, to become the man they swore couldn't exist. With not to fight but transcend it, you must vanish first, until next time stay unseen.